Hello, Guidewire is widely known as the global leader in core technology for insurers, but probably more amongst personal lines carriers than in the commercial or specialty markets. However, this is precisely where much of our current growth is happening, and I'd like to spend the next few minutes explaining why, by showcasing some of the features we have created in Insurance Suite. We're going to look at a few means by which we support specialty products, co-insurance, reinsurance, delegated authority underwriting, and something that's very close to me, the London market. Now, in reality, many of our customers operate across many or even all of these markets. Let me be more concrete and describe one problem I've observed by talking to many customers. The decision to underwrite a submission offered by a broker begins with basic checks such as appetite for risk, internal clearance to quote, and the availability of underwriting capacity. Underwriters need a comprehensive platform to support this initial analysis before any quote or offer is created.
Thanks, Ian. I understand what you are saying. Ideally, the decision of pursuing new business for further analysis or decline it right away should be made quickly. Therefore, underwriters could focus their time on valuable accounts and business. This decision, however, is based on many factors and can be quite time-consuming. What about having a single screen consolidating all the relevant data for an underwriter to make an informed decision? That's exactly what the preliminary risk assessment does. It provides a 360 view of a risk. It presents to the underwriters the overall premiums, claims, loss ratios, and data from third-party services, including credit scores, sanctions, screening, etc. It also provides the underwriter all the full history of quotes, risks, and claims, as well as open business with the current customer, making it easy to identify any potential duplicate business coming from different offices or different brokers. It's also important to assess the performance of the broker that brings the business to us. That is possible through embedded reporting from Guidewire Info Center or any third-party reporting tool. But underwriting assessment is not only about historical data. It's also being able to explore data-driven approaches and integration with intelligent services, such as Guidewire Science. And that provide real-time data analytics for an underwriter to make an informed decision.
Thanks, Tiago. Okay, now I can see that the process you described would help me to manage risk clearance through a global insurance organization, review historical business with a customer and broker, and decide to further review or decline the business up front. The mechanism described above helps carriers measure their appetite to underwrite the risk prior to any negotiation process. This is very important for customers writing open market insurance and FAC reinsurance business. Talking about reinsurance, Boris, could you tell us what Guidewire is offering to support inwards or assumed reinsurance?
Yes, sure, Ian. Because Policy Center offers comprehensive native out-of-the-box capabilities like a full set of insurance-relevant transactions, multi-currency support, submission versions, and others. Guidewire strengthened these capabilities specifically for the needs of inward reinsurance. And we now have one of the biggest reinsurance in the world in our customer community who has decided to use Guidewire Policy Center as a platform for their facultative book of business. So let me show you how the data can be efficiently captured for the new facultative reinsurance contract. Just specify the type of the policy as the inward reinsurance, and the whole screen flow and the data capture requirements are adjusted according to this choice automatically. So the concept of global commercial line, which includes the inward reinsurance capabilities, allows you to choose between different classes of business, like marine, property, aviation, etc. If your specific line of business is missing, it can be added using the standard Guidewire product management tools. Suggested coverages are automatically pre-filtered depending on the class of business you've chosen before. So Policy Center allows you to capture all the necessary data required for the proportional contract. But what if the underwriter wants to compare this option with a non-proportional excess of loss alternative? All this is possible due to the native out-of-the-box capabilities of Policy Center. So the underwriter can easily copy the version he has already created make changes, defining any layers, and select the preferred option to underwrite. So the underwriter is now able to capture the pricing information. The advantage of using Policy Center for inwards reinsurance is that the user has flexibility to define the pricing terms individually at any desired level, adding the premium, entry, deposit, commissions, and fees. The underwriter can set the pricing terms in different currencies, which is useful for global accounts. External rating and pricing engines can be integrated into the transaction flow. So that was just an example how Guidewire Policy Center can be used as the cockpit for reinsurance underwriters.
Very impressive. Okay, I can now see that Policy Center is able to capture fact-assumed reinsurance, represent risk with multiple layers or programs, represent risk with multiple and complex covers, and easily extend data capture based on class of business and business rules, and therefore will be able to capture inwards reinsurance treaties too. Policy Center seems to be a great platform to manage individual or open market risk. But another common challenge for all of our customers is managing portfolio underwriting, especially through delegated authorities. For example, this accounts for well over a third of business written in the Lloyd's market, and many insurers and reinsurers outside of London too. Do you have any solution for that?
Sure, Ian, because delegating the business to the third party for underwriting and often claim is an important part of global commercial business. Most importantly, Guidewire allows you to define the agreement between the insurer and the partner who is writing the business on his behalf, for example, a broker or cover holder. So this contract, which we call a binding authority, includes the negotiated conditions, which products your partner can sell, which coverage he or she may offer to the insured, defining the underwriting capacity or setting limits for this operation. The conditions to define the agreement between the insurer and his partner can be adjusted on a very granular level. For example, the binder allows the partner to sell commercial products with a maximum limit for a specific coverage up to a certain fixed amount. Policy Center allows you to upload a list of risks, like bordereau, under the relevant delegated authority agreement. This process can be executed manually. However, it's possible to automate the upload or even make it available through a digital channel. During the upload process, Policy Center validates the bordereau and informs you about any errors or exceptions, giving you the ability to fix the issues immediately or to revisit it after the whole process is executed. Based on the uploaded bordereau file, the system runs the required transactions, creating the policies behind the scenes. Entries without any validation problems will be processed as bound. Entries that violate the negotiated conditions will trigger the creation of underwriting issues. So, the manual decision of the underwriter is now required in order to proceed. At any time, you can go into the negotiation process with your partner, extending his authorities to underwrite higher risks. A policy without any data or authority issues is automatically generated and processed based on the entry in the uploaded bordereau list. That was just an example, and we recognize that there are different flavors in the industry of how our customers collaborate with their partners and brokers. So we are ready to discuss any specific requirements in this area.
Okay, that's great, Boris. Guidewire products are very flexible and able to solve generic requirements for the complex commercial and specialty insurance markets and can consume bordereau or lists of bound risks. But what about the latest Lloyd's initiatives such as DA-SATS or Delegated Data Manager as it is now known, which is designed to collect bordereau data from cover holders essentially on behalf of the entire London market? How can we support these initiatives? Tiago?
Yes, Ian, we support that through the Guidewire Insurance Suite API architecture. That would also support direct messaging of risks written under delegated authority, directly from the cover holders to the underwriter's instance of Policy Center, creating real-time synchronization.
Well, that would be a step change for the London market. Now, I wonder if this would integrate with the new Lloyd's cover holder workbench. But let's get back to basics first. What does Guidewire do to support accounting and settlement messages?
I get why you ask that. That's exactly one of the areas that distinguish a platform capable of supporting the London market from the others. London market carriers need modern tools. They need to provide their technical accounting teams with the capacity and the tooling for them to efficiently monitor signed lines in premium settlement. PolicyCenter automates both the processing of Lloyd's and company market messages. As a technical accounting user, I use the PolicyCenter interface to track and manage all the premium messages. For every message, PolicyCenter identifies the message type and performs specific actions. For an USM signing message, for instance, PolicyCenter triggers the matching process that will automatically link the signing to the relevant risk. In more detail, during the matching process, the signing number from the message will be associated with the risk and the relevant premium entry. On the other hand, as we all know, data does not always flow consistently across the market. And that leads to processing challenges on the carrier side. As a technical accounting user, I use the validation results screen to quickly identify what are the message entries that require my attention. It provides me a view of the messages that are stuck and why the automated matching process was not successful. It also allows me to update specific message data fields that are preventing the matching process. I'm able to easily fix the incorrect data received, and I'm then able to resubmit the message, and that will enable the automated matching process to happen after that. Whilst providing all this capability, PolicyCenter is constantly checking data integrity, verifying users' authorities profile, keeping an audit trail of the data and the actions taken, both manually and programmatically.
This is pretty comprehensive, and it looks like our customers are well positioned for whatever the future holds for London and the global specialty and reinsurance markets. In addition to being the leading claims management platform in the London market, Guidewire also supports syndicates and companies for underwriting, policy processing, premium accounting, and I think the big message here is that Guidewire's cloud platform is able to support all business types, markets, and methods of placements in a single platform, and that's got to be unique. Tiago, Boris, thanks very much to both of you for that overview.